The earth is our mother, and my earth is a center, a point of contact with Mother Earth. The size of the land can be different. It can be a land on which you are standing, the land which you cultivate, and the land on which you live. The boundaries of the land are of no importance. I spend a part of my time in Kiev and part of my time here. And here I am closer to the land because here I can breathe deeply. Taras Lozhenko has a goat farm. He has been working on its development for already 5 years. During this period of time, a cattle number increased from 40 heads to 350. They chose Saanen, Alpine and Cotswold breeds of sheep. The sheep have a large milk yield and are unpretentious. The idea of goat breeding is that of my father. One day he made a bet with his friend. They argued whether an agricultural business could be profitable. So my father decided to prove his friend that such a business could be profitable. It is the first farm he bought. I am convinced my father won the bet. He was right. Indeed, to engage in agriculture in Ukraine is perhaps the only thing we should do, taking into consideration our favorable natural conditions and our blessed fertile land. I decided to help my father by delivering products to our friends, so I offered him to make a serious delivery, to create a brand and site on which our friend could offer our products. I remember his look at the moment. He said, "Let's do it." Agriculture was unknown for the Lozhenko family. His father was an engineer who started with breeding bulls and cows. Taras is a graphic designer who graduated from the Academy of Arts. He's a swimmer. This inspired him to dive headfirst into this business. Why did we decide to engage in goat breeding? In our opinion, it was a vacant niche on the Ukrainian market. In Soviet times, breeding goats was not such a popular business. In order to feed the Soviet people, farms bred cows. Only old people in villages bred goats, because it was easier to take care of these animals. A goat eats so many different herbs that it can choose the best of them. The products made of goat milk are more useful and nutritive, because the structure of this milk is close to human milk. Also, products made of goat milk are digested by 90%, the cow milk ones by 60%. Goats have a carefree life at the farm. It is dry, light and clean here. A pleasant scent of hay is in the air. Every goat has a biometric passport attached to the ear. The passport consists of a veterinary history about the parents and lambing. A goat breeder must avoid mixing blood because the notorious taste in goat's milk depends on it. Therefore, special attention is paid to hybridization. Moreover, goats have a special food ration. We feed goats with dried grass, oats and corn. In the cold season, we add combined fodder to their feed to increase the amount of milk. One goat gives an average 2 to 3 liters of milk a day. There is no difference whether the goats are horned or hornless. The main thing is the breed. Alpine goats give the greatest yields of milk, but the fat content in their milk is lower. Now we breed Saanen. These goats have a lower milk yield, but the fat content in their milk is higher. This milk is better for producing cheese. We have harvested fodder, alfalfa and oats. In general, laboratory experts decide what value the hay has and what additives it should have. We do not use modified additives. Now we add oats to the hay. Goats also have to consume mineral salt in the dry period of the year. A milking room is of great importance for neophyte farmers to develop this sector of agriculture. Farm workers say that they had to teach the goats for 2 months how to wait in line, how to go beyond a fence, to search for feed there and stand still while they are being milked by a special milking machine. Goats execute all the commands reflexively. Mechanical means greatly simplify the work of milkers. Only such a selective raw material is used in the production of cheese. Vacuum milking protects milk against contamination. 200 goats live now on the farm. They give 500 liters of milk a day. In summer, when goats graze on a meadow all day long, they give much more raw milk. Goat milk has a positive effect on the health of patients with skin and vascular diseases and can be very useful to treat gallstone diseases, fibromyalgia, and even children's epilepsy. Butter made of goat's milk is whiter than made of cow milk due to the lack of keratin. It is used to treat cold and pulmonary diseases. The milk fat is nutritious and it normalizes the work of the liver, stomach, and lungs. It is especially recommended for children for formation of their bone tissues. Goat milk also increases hemoglobin, improves a person's eyesight, and helps to combat diabetes. Milk is a liquid which contains bubbles of fat, protein, and minerals. Protein bubbles in goat milk are much smaller than those in cows. That is why the human body can absorb them better. Cheese made of goat milk is more tender than cheese made of cow milk. So goat milk is more recommended to produce tender kinds of hard cheeses. A goat is a child's best friend. Remember the ancient myths. Zeus was nourished and grown by the goat of Amalfi in a grotto. She protected the future king of Olympus. It is not by chance he covered his shield with goat hair and decorated it with the face of his dead guardian to frighten his enemies. The face under the aegis means staying under the protection of the strongest one even now. Many people know the gesture of fingers of the king of the gods in the form of the Latin letter V that stands for victory. The king of the gods also turned the broken horn of Amalfi into cornucopia, the horn of plenty. Taurus confirms the authenticity of these myths every time. The friendship with goats and communication with them is very important for kids. One girl who visited our farm said, "Goat, it is exactly how I imagined you." She saw a live goat for the first time. Before she saw goats only in pictures. Goats are very friendly animals. They are very curious creatures, so they like to smell and taste everything they see. Only freshly squeezed goat milk is the best for a person's health. Unfortunately, it loses its qualities hour after hour, but biologically active substances and bactericidal properties prevent goat milk from souring within 3 days at room temperature and a week in a refrigerator. Fresh preservation of this product has become the main task in the business for the farmer and cheesemaker. When we unpacked our first cheeses in a month, we did not like them. We unpacked them in 2 or 3 months. They were tasteless again, so we came to France to gain some experience. When we returned, we started producing French cheese. In a year, we decided to clean our warehouse from mildew and found our old cheeses preserved there for 1.5 years. They were like small stones. We forgot about them. We wanted to throw them away, but then decided to unpack and taste them. We were pleasantly surprised that the cheese was absolutely delicious. Neophyte Ukrainian cheesemakers visited farms in 11 foreign countries, where they gained practical and theoretical know-how. In their turn, they invited cheese producers from abroad to Ukraine. What's surprising is the foreign production technique did not work in Ukraine because milk can be various. Its taste and quality depend on animals' care, nature, and climate. Why are we traveling so extensively and collecting so many recipes? We did it because foreign countries have great culinary traditions. They learn from their mistakes and know how to correct them. We need their experience, but we never fully copy their recipes. We make Ukrainian cheeses and Ukrainian recipes. We want to learn classic recipes and produce our own cheeses. We create them for Ukrainian consumers, taking into consideration their likings. People who first taste our cheese at fairs wonder how we manage to make cheese with a nutty taste without using nuts. Production of tender goat cheese is in the culinary traditions of central Ukraine because you can find milk everywhere in the meadow outside the kitchen garden. But in the Carpathians, herd of cows, sheep and goats grazed the whole summer in the mountains. So their owners preserved milk products by making cheese. Sometimes they produce cheese with mildew and without it. Sometimes it is moist and delicious, and sometimes it is dry. To preserve it for the winter, it has to be salty and hard. Similar technologies are used at Lozhenko's cheese dairy farm. Real cheese is made of unskimmed milk. Unskimmed milk is indicated on a label. If the label contains a mixture of unskimmed milk and skim milk, then it is high-quality cheese, albeit industrial. And of course, cheese products are made of palm oil with some additives and flavors. This product can be hardly called cheese. Besides, you should look always carefully at the product content. It is normal if cheese contains enzyme bacterial fermentation, calcium chloride and ethylact. We can also add food coloring, but only if they're natural, beta-carotene, annatto, spinach extractor and lavender. It is necessary to make such cheese marketable. I really like my work because I make real products. I do not want to suppress information how I'm doing it. I do not have any secret. It's very pleasant for me to look into the eyes of our clients and relatives who eat these cheeses, and I'm proud of it. Cheese has become a dish of gourmets. People want to enjoy it while drinking coffee or wine, eating a sandwich or salad with mushrooms or tomatoes, in a julienne salad or soup. Taras Lozhenko says for himself only one task: to make cheese on his farm that will be healthy and delicious. You can combine cheese with candies, jam, honey, and fruit paste. There are no cannons. Sweet and salty. And what about cheese with wine? It is truly an exquisite combination.
I have to say I really enjoyed the explanation of the process. We had the marmalade that was brought out, very sweet, paired with some lovely salty cheeses, was phenomenal. And I have to comment on this very different jam sauce over here, and it's pear, vanilla, and I believe persimmon. I have tried cheeses in Canada, in France, and in Switzerland, but this has to be probably one of my favorite varieties that have been laid out very carefully for us.
This is my way. Now I can use my skills of a sportsman and a designer in agriculture. Unfortunately, Ukraine does not have traditions of small-time farming. I do not have somebody to learn from. Therefore, I am very grateful to my advertising, creative, and sports experience that I have knowledge which I can apply. I think I am a happy person because I have found harmony and balance in life. I like all the things which are going on around me. This business helps me to feel this.